Investment giant PIMCO has agreed to lend the Development Bank of Southern Africa 3 billion rand. The funds will be used to refinance the DBSA's existing debt in renewable energy projects and support investment into new capacity. Boitumelo Mosako, who's CFO of the DBSA, joins us now with more of the detail. Thanks so much, Boitumelo, for your time this evening. So like I say, we've got PIMCO agreeing to lend the Development Bank 3 billion rand. It's the first deal in the United Nations program to fund green energy in Africa. How big is this deal that we're looking at?
This deal is big, in a sense that it is the first deal that has been done under the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa SDG 7 program, whose main objective is to actually, channel private sector, funds into the African continent to fund, green infrastructure projects and to also fund green industrialization.
Yeah, so let's get into some of the detail on where this money is being put to use, because we're looking at a refinancing of debt that South Africa's Development Bank of Southern Africa has in renewable projects on the one hand, but also some, funding going towards investing in additional capacity as well. So spell that out for us. Where exactly is capital being put to work right now?
Okay, because currently we do have an existing green book as the DBSA, and this 3 billion facility, it is a 3-year bullet fixed interest per annum facility, will be put to refinancing of the existing some of the projects within the existing book of DBSA, both in South Africa and other exposures outside of South Africa. And another thing that I'd like to add is that what makes this transaction significant is that it is actually a transaction that is ZAR based. So it is done in our local currency.
And what lending rate have you managed to secure?
Well, the lending rate, obviously I cannot disclose what is the lending rate. All I can say that it was competitive.
So we're hoping you've got a fair deal here. Let's take a look at project timelines, Boitumelo. What kind of timelines are we looking at for projects?
Okay, I mean, if you look at this facility, for instance, as I said, it's a 3-year facility. Mm-hmm. So we are looking at refinancing the current book. And the significance here is that when we refinance, then we can free up liquidity to actually do other green projects in our pursuit to grow our green book in line with our just transition framework.
That may be the ambition, Boitumelo, and we've also had PIMCO itself highlight that there is certainly ongoing interest from stakeholders in well-structured projects that also achieve tangible progress for sustainable energy development in Africa. But what's that pipeline looking like when it comes to real viable projects?
When you look at, for instance, from a South African context, you're looking at the REAP program, that is the IPP program, and looking at, funding further rounds that will definitely be coming through. And in addition to that, we as the bank have recently launched proposal for embedded generation projects within South Africa. And we are looking at green projects, as I had said, in the water and the energy sector outside of South Africa, that we will be using these funds to refinance as well.
This all as we pursue transitioning away from the fossil fuels space to build the clean energy space more emphatically. Boitumelo, how much of a gap do you do you see private sector capital starting to close where there's been a lack of public sector funding? There's been a whole lot of broken promises up to this point. The failure of rich nations, developed markets in particular, to live up to their pledges to provide $100 billion a year to help poorer countries combat some of the climate change challenges we face.
I think we have a success story to tell as South Africa. I mean, when one looks at the success around the REAP program in South Africa, where government, with the Department of Minerals and Energy and the DBSA established their IPP office, and government worked on creating, an enabling environment from a legislative perspective as well to be able to, catalyze private sector. And when you look at the amount of private sector money that went into, the program, it shows you the importance of, the development finance institution together with government, partnering in creating that enabling environment.
Okay, well, let's leave it there. Thanks so much, Boitumelo, for your time this evening. That, of course, DBSA's CFO, Boitumelo Mosako. Well, the DBSA not the only one striking deals today. Murray & Roberts has acquired U.S. engineering firm J.J. White via its subsidiary Clough North America. The deal is in line with the group's strategy to diversify and expand the company's energy, resources and infrastructure business platform in the region, and comes at a price tag of 425 million rand. Company CEO Henry Last joins us now to discuss the merits of the deal. Henry, thanks so much for your time this evening. So you've acquired J.J. White via Clough, like I've said, at a 425 million rand price tag. What exactly have you brought through into your stable?
At the time of our results, we did communicate to the market that we were looking at diversifying our business in the U.S., similarly to what we've done in the Australia region, where the energy resources and infrastructure platform previously was purely servicing the LNG sector.